Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jade. I met Dylan at work 7 years ago, and we've been great friends since. When Dylan told me Pooja said yes, I've been thinking to myself, why marry Dylan Sharp? What exactly is so special about him? Well, I'm afraid to conclude, after months of research, I have nothing to say other than invite Pooja onto the stage to let us all know why. Jokes aside, the truth is, there's many a reason. I would describe Dylan as a down-to-earth, true gentleman. A genuine person, a go-getter, one of the most kindest people you'll ever know. A truly selfless person who's come through many obstacles to take on challenge after challenge. There's no obstacle too big for Dylan once he puts his mind to it. He recently scaled to base camp Mount Everest to raise money for a diabetic child in India. Truly inspirational. Let's get a round of applause for Dylan. Truly inspirational, and that's certainly the case for me personally. 4 years ago, I joined Dylan on a trek to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. I learnt a few interesting things about him along the way. He could build a rapport with just about anybody. He has a great drive and determination. And perhaps most surprising of all, he is more than comfortable not having a shower for over a week. After Kilimanjaro, we spent a few days relaxing in Zanzibar. Pooja, if there's one thing you don't need to worry about, it's your romantic getaways. Dylan has it covered. He checked us in to a proper couple's honeymooner hotel. I never thought he's who I'd be enjoying my first candlelit dinner with. We were offered the room upgrade by the receptionist at check-in to celebrate what was apparently our special time together. I had masseurs trying to convince me to agree with Dylan to take on the special couples offer spa treatment. And I'm pretty sure he got the maid to lay heart-shaped chocolates on our bed at night. Beds. Plural. There were 2 beds. But you know what? It was probably just Dylan who wanted to get everything out of the hotel because he doesn't like to waste. That's a great quality of his. Some of you will remember his silver Nissan Micra. When it got to knock, he didn't see it as a chance to finally upgrade. Nope. Instead, he stayed loyal and fixed it with a bright red side panel. He certainly got the most out of it. And today, we can see Dylan apply the same logic, this time to his hair. Dylan's got tremendous confidence in his decision-making. He's always right, or rather, he can never be wrong. One of the best stories at work was, since after Dylan has left, was just when he was a few months into the job. He convinced himself that it would be a good idea to lay an almighty smackdown, pointing out his senior's error in a strongly worded email, copying in a director. Somehow, he managed to last another 4 years. Even now, people sign off on proposals with the words, I think this is fine, but you should check with the boss man, Dylan. Dylan and Pooja, I'm delighted for you both. I'm sure you're going to be very happy together as husband and wife, and as best friends. I wish you all the very, very best for the future together. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses for the soon-to-be newlyweds, Dylan and Pooja.
So, namaste and Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. A special big shout out to everybody who came all the way to Elstree for the free food and drink. I absolutely did. I think I just saw a teenager tweet that with #India. So, my name is Jayesh. I've known Dylan for quite a long time. Back when the cinema was a $5, milk came in cartons. I'd actually met Kunal earlier. We didn't have the right kind of chemistry, I think, that I've got with Dylan. You see, when I first met Kunal, he broke my speakers. Now these were legendary, but whatever. But to this day, he still hasn't replaced them. Cut that off. By the way, before I forget, Hello to all of the lovely massies in the room. You all look so beautiful. Just to mention, our dear Jay has yet to find someone to share his warm and loving heart. So please, it's really lovely actually to see Dylan as the man he is today, having accomplished so much. We've had some really, really good times together. We've celebrated a lot of nights out, New Year's Eves, we've seen the world. And actually I think probably some of us know that our most memorable nights out were when Dylan came completely dedicated to our friendship, straight from work, to a night out in his cardigan, with a backpack that never seemed to leave his back, doing this kind of unique blend of YMCA and robot dancing, kind of like. Now, as Jay rightly pointed out, Dylan has a very strong mind, he's very determined. He will complete whatever task he has set himself, even when the rest of us are willing to give up. Sometimes though, we want to give up for good reason. I'll give you a little example. A few years ago we went to Spain. It was lovely, I think. And Dylan really wanted to see the beach. Now, we went to Valencia and the beach was a little bit far, but we thought we had it sussed out. But bearing in mind, this was before we had unlimited data, we didn't have Google Maps in Europe, and the only time you had a DSLR was when you quite liked photography and you weren't an idiot shooting in auto mode. So we trekked for a couple of hours to find this bus stop to take us to the beach. And we sort of finally found it, but 2 hours of trekking in the sun, we're pretty tired, but whatever. We had Pooja, makeshift translator. She was the only one that could say more than hola, si, and hello, señorita. Now, at this point, this was when half the group decided, we're tired, let's go back to the hotel. Let's lounge around at the pool on this beautiful sunny day. Idiots, right? What kind of idea is that? 2 hours of trekking and we'll go to the pool, whatever. So I agreed with Dylan. We went along to the beach, or so I thought. 2 hours longer on this bus. We ended up where there was quite nice wildlife. We went on a beautiful cruise. We saw some nice things. I was ready to go home. I thought this is great, but no. Dylan wanted the beach. So we trekked for 40 days and 40 nights to find this beach. And when we finally got there, it was a great view of heavy industrial ships, freighting what was probably your old TV with the big back to an African country for recycling. Ugh. But Dylan was happy. He'd achieved his goal. He found the beach. Jayesh wasn't happy because he now looked like a beetroot having not worn sun cream all day. Now, imagine how long it took us to get there and how long it took us to get back. By the time we got to the pool, I think I was dead. But seriously, Dylan, your level of commitment is like a 40-year-old One Direction fan. But I think we should get a bit more practical because as someone who's written many award-winning treatises on successful relationships, I feel that I should give you a few hints and tips to make sure that your married life is smooth. Keeping that spark going is always important. Ask the beautiful masses around the room. So tip number 1, no matter what, if Pooja ever calls you by your real name, not Boo, not Marolalo, not Dilo to Maro Jivcho, except you've done something pretty wrong. Don't even attempt to defend yourself, because it won't work. You should instead buy a beautiful gift. Get a nice new vellum. Get some Eno for the cupboard. Trust me, the Eno comes in handy when you want to make dhokla, I know. Tip number 2. Don't forget Pooja works really, really hard. You're not the only one that puts in the long hours. So when she comes home, you've got to make sure the kitchen is tidy so she can go straight to cooking dinner instead of cleaning your mess. Keep the ironing board and the iron together so she doesn't have to waste time looking for it. And most importantly, do not ever forget to appreciate that morning, after work, and before bed chai that she will make for you every day. And now tip number 3, my final tip. And this one's actually for you, Pooja. You see, you've got to remember, Dylan means so much more to you than that lovely gentleman for whom you make sandwiches, for whom you cook dinner for, make sure he's got nice shirts. You see, whenever Dylan really annoys you, you've got to remember him as a little 5-year-old, punching around. He's so cute and adorable. Everything will become smooth. It's quite easy to forget how appealing Dylan is when he hasn't actually done anything you've said, like the hoovering, cleaning the car, or buying your best mate Jayesh a Mercedes. And Dylan, always remember Pooja's favourite flower, because sometimes there'll be occasions where sorry just isn't enough. You need to know whether to buy elephant atta or self-raising. But getting serious just for a moment now, there's always one part of Dylan that truly made him complete, and that is, of course, Pooja. You see, Dylan can really be a gentleman when he tries, thanks to you. And I have to say, you do look really beautiful, the most elegant person in the room by far. And you've stolen our Dylan's heart, and I hope you treasure it for all of your years, as I have done with Dylan's credit card. And Dylan, you've suffered serious hardships, serious setbacks, and yet you always bounce back. No matter what, you always try and set out to accomplish something, even when it's completely wrong, like that goatee on your face. Now, I actually have a slight tear in my eye, but I can't work out whether it's because it's so beautiful seeing you both together, finally starting your journey on becoming one, or whether actually I'm really sad because we've lost another brother. In any event, Dylan and Pooja, I raise my rather imaginary glass, because I forgot it, to you both on this auspicious day, where the two of you are starting to become one, creating a new life filled with love, happiness, prosperity and success. And maybe just one day, Dylan waking up and shaving his whole face. So I'd like to invite everybody again, please raise your glasses to the beautiful Dylan and Pooja. You may now update your Facebook status.